Daniel chapter number 8, verses number 8, 9, and 10. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones towards the 4 winds of heaven, and out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceedingly great towards the south, and towards the east, and towards the pleasant land. And it waxed great even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them. Verse number 8, we are getting a close-up glimpse for the first time at what's going to happen. We start out with the great empire of Alexander the Great, after his unexpected and sudden death at the mere age of 33, being fought over by his generals. And it was narrowed down to 4 of his top generals, divided his empire into 4. Isn't it interesting how Daniel originally saw the 4 beasts come up out of the waves of the sea, and Nebuchadnezzar's vision was a statue with 4 parts, and Alexander the Great Empire was broken up into 4 components as well. We can see the Seleucid Empire, number 1, the Ptolemy Empire, number 2, the Cassandra Empire, number 3, and the Lysimachus Empire, number 4. It's important to take note that the Seleucid Empire would be referred to in Daniel's future visions as the king of the north, and the Ptolemy Empire will be referred to as king of the south. So we need to keep that in mind, because they will come back up very shortly. So now, this is talking about how the he-goat. Then it talks about verse number 9, and out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceedingly great towards the south, and towards the east, and towards the pleasant land. Now, it talks about out of one of these 4 empires, which we will find out is the Seleucid Empire, will bring forth a little horn. And it will push towards the south, and push towards the east, and push towards the pleasant land. The pleasant land, once again, is referring to Jerusalem. This will come up again. It's referring to Israel or Jerusalem, the pleasant land. And this little horn is none other than Antiochus Epiphanes / Antichrist. Antiochus Epiphanes persecuted God's people like none other before his time. His sheer hatred for God's people, and it could have been because of his almost defeat of Egypt, but the Roman Empire stepping in, forcing him to withdraw his hand. We all have heard that phrase, a line drawn in the sand. This was because of Antiochus Epiphanes. He was on his way. He met a Roman envoy or ambassador, and Rome had demanded that he cease his attack on Egypt and withdraw his forces. He said he was too busy. He was going to check with his council, and the envoy from Rome drew a circle in the sand around Antiochus Epiphanes and demanded an answer. In other words, if you step out of this circle without giving the Roman Empire an answer, then they will declare war on you. And that's where we get that saying, a line drawn in the sand. And Antiochus Epiphanes decided not to attack them. Angry and furious, on his way back, That's when he worked havoc among the people of God, killing thousands. Some estimates 40,000. Then another 40,000 later in a mere 3 days. Then selling 80 more thousand into slavery. This is how ferocious the hatred was towards God's people. But verse number 10 gives us even more insight as to what happened. And it waxed great. This is talking about little horn / Antichrist, even to the hosts of heaven, and it cast down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground and stepped upon them. And you must be saying, wait a minute, Antiochus Epiphanes didn't cast down any stars from heaven. What is this talking about? We can see over here in our treasury of scriptures, Isaiah chapter 14, verse number 13, and in Revelations chapter number 12, verse number 4. It's talking about when Lucifer was exalting his earthly empire, much like Antichrist, much like Antiochus Epiphanes was trying to do. He thought he was going to exalt his empire above God himself, the same as Antichrist will talk great blasphemy against God. And then Revelation talks about how with his tail he drew a third part of the stars of heaven, which is being interpreted a third part of the spiritual beings, the angelic host. So this is really letting us know Antiochus Epiphanes / Antichrist was none other than Satan incarnated in the flesh. This was Satan's answer to Yeshua of Nazareth, or Jesus of Nazareth. God manifested his son in the flesh, so will Satan. He's called the son of perdition, the son of hell. God, help your people to stand strong and do your will and be great in you and do whatever you have us to do. Thank God.